Welcome to Amar Ghore Amar School program. I hope all of you are hale and hearty at home by the grace of Almighty Allah. I know that you miss your schools, your classes a lot. But you know, as the whole world has been infected with a deadly virus COVID-19, your schools are now closed. But as you want your classes back, our government has taken an initiative to bring your classes at home through Amar Ghore Amar School program. So, in this connection, today I am Mohammad Noor Alam, lecturer in English, have been here before you with a new lesson from your English Today book. So, my dear students, get ready with your EFT book and pen and paper. Let's enjoy the video. I think you have been able to anticipate what lesson we are going to discuss today. Before getting into our lesson, just try to answer the question. Don't worry, we will do it together. Our first question is, what have you seen in the video? We have seen a moonlit night. Our next question is, can you see the full moon from your house or yard? So what do you think? Usually, the students of village areas can enjoy this full moon because they have open yard, they have open spaces. But in city areas, there are lots of light, and this is why the moonlit is not visible. So the people in the city come deprived of enjoying the full moon. Now we are moving towards our third question. Here our third question is, how do you feel when you see such a beautiful moon? We feel very delighted, no doubt about it. We feel very charmed because this full moon is such a wonderful sight that we become compelled to like it. You know, the poets, the writers get their theme for writing. Even a child from the lap of its mother stretches out its hand to touch the full moon. So it is so charming, so beautiful a scene that we truly feel delighted. I hope and believe that after answering these questions and the discussion, you must have been able to anticipate what lesson we are going to discuss today. Yes, you are absolutely right. Today we are going to discuss the lesson Unit 6, Lesson 7 from your English for Today textbook for class 7. Why should we go through this lesson? Because by the end of this lesson, you will be able to what? Just look at the board. You will be able to read and understand this text. You will be able to pronounce the word ending with CH. Then you will be able to talk about people, place, and event. You will have the ability to write a short description. You will also know the meaning of some new word. Let's get into the lesson. But before that, as usual, let us know the meaning of the keywords. Here the keywords are: number 1, relaxed; What does relax mean? Relax means stress-free, anxiety-free, without tension. For example, students are relaxed after their exam is over. When you do not have any exam, you feel relaxed. Then you see, laugh one's head off. Laugh one's head off means laugh heavily or uncontrollably. When you control your laughter. Okay. For example, the man is laughing his head off. When this happens, when you listen to some jokes or when you experience some funny things, you cannot but laugh loudly and you cannot even control. Okay, I think you have understood. Let's answer the question. What are the activities of the moon are noticed here in this stanza? We see that the moon is moving through the night, slowly and silently, putting on her silver shoes, and looks at the silver fruit upon silver trees. Okay, so these are the activities. What are the activities? Number one, the moon is walking through the night, silently and slowly. The second activity is she is looking at silver fruit upon silver trees. Now let's again look at some pictures. What do you see in the picture? You see a grandchild with her grandparents. Then we see a village house. After that, we see few houses and a yard. These sort of houses are usually found in villages. And at last we see a beautiful moon. Now my dear students, let's read the text very carefully, because after reading the text we will try to answer a few questions and do other activities. Okay? Now let's see and read it. It was Jison's grandparents' house in the village. So where is Jison's grandparents' house? It is in the village. The night sky was clear. The full moon was shining brightly. All the family members had delicious supper and sat in the yard. Jison's cousin, Jahid and Shima were very excited. They are the same age. They were also studying at a village school. Their grandparents gladly joined them. They are sitting on a bamboo mat. Everybody felt relaxed. They were talking, laughing and joking. The children's voices were the loudest. Jahid described how he played for his school in the Upazila inter-school tournament. So, up to now, what do we see? We see the very usual picture when you go to your grandparents' house in the village. You meet your cousins. And when you are in same age, you feel very delighted. And all the members of the family get together. They usually do not have any work, and this is why they get relaxed. Then they involve themselves in gossiping, in chit-chat, and they usually feel very enjoyable, very comfortable, relaxed, and they usually share what they do when they are in normal days. Go to our rest part of the text. What sports do you take part in, Jisan? Asked Jahid. Jisan could not answer. Why? Because there was no playground in his school and around his house. Shima also told them how she won the first prize for 100-meter sprint in her school annual sports. She sang a beautiful bhaiya. Everybody clapped their hands in delight. Julie's aunt, Mrs. Jahanara Khan, told some funny jokes that made them laugh their head off. Julie's aunt, Mrs. Jahanara Khan, told some funny jokes that made them laugh their head off. The family gathering went on far into the night. So what do we see here? We see the cousins, the children are sharing their stories. Someone has won some competition, someone has sang a song, but some other cannot say anything because he is deprived of this opportunity. Why? Because there is no playground both in school and around the house. So you may have this sort of problems too, especially in the town schools. And at last we have seen their aunt is also taking part there gossiping. I hope that you have understood the text, and if you have so, let's check it out by answering some multiple choice questions. So let's have a look on the screen. Our first question is, what made Jahid and Shima excited? Options are the shining of the full moon, meeting with their cousins, sitting on the mats, delicious supper. Let me give you the cue. When you children meet your cousins, how do you feel? You feel very excited. So the answer should be B, meeting with their cousins. Next, our second question. The second question is, everybody was feeling relaxed. This means everybody was, options are wearing nice clothes, talking and enjoying themselves, having no works to do, sitting under the full moon. So, when you are relaxed, you do whatever enjoy And this is why we see the answer should be B, talking and enjoying themselves. So, next, question number 3. Jisan could not reply to Jahid's question. What sports do you take part in? Because options are: he does not like sports. Option B, his school does not organize any sports. Option 3, sports are not a part of examinations. And the last option is his parents don't like sport. We see from the text that there is no playground in his school and around his house. So, as there is no playground in his school, the school cannot or does not organize any sports. So, the correct answer should be option B. Our last question is: Julie's aunt's funny jokes made everybody laugh their head off. Here, laugh their head off means laughing. How? Laughing slowly, moving their heads, loudly, with a headache. So, from the meaning of the word, we have seen it's loudly. So, the option is C. Okay, so I think all of you have been able to answer all the questions correctly. Look at some words, listen and say these words, pronounce these words. These words end with CH sound. So let's start. Which, ditch, lunch, touch. Have you heard it? Practice it with me. You will go on practicing these words and other words like this. We are about to end our today's class. But before that, let's try to remember what we have discussed and learned so far. First, we have learned a few new words. Then we have talked about Jisan's grandparents' house, their family members, and we saw that they described their activities. Then we have solved some multiple choice questions. And finally, we have learned the pronunciation of some words. Now it's time for homework, and you know that this homework is very important for you. Let's see the homework on screen. You will write a paragraph about your leisure activities. It may be at school and home. Also, write who helps you with these activities. If you cannot do any of these activities, you can write why. When your schools will reopen, you will have to submit it to your English teacher, and you will be credited with marks, and these marks will be added to your exam marks as a continuous assessment. Let me take the opportunity to thank you very much once again for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed the class very much. Please follow the instruction of the government, stay home, stay safe.